Morning, afternoon, evening. Lord Stan here again, and welcome back to part 2 of installing Crossover on the BNSF Birdwood Sub division. Well, I hope you've had a supplementary meal and a cup of tea like I have, and that you've eased yourself in mentally as well as physically to be able to accept part 2 of this installing a Crossover, which once again I still think has got something to do with the motocross. Anyway, not to worry. I hope you will enjoy part 2 and get something a little bit more out of it than I have, because I think I've seen it all before. But anyway, not to worry. This is Lord Stan saying thank you very much for watching, and enjoy, yes, enjoy part 2. And I need another one of these. Toodle pip. Okay, right, this is our last bit of track to put in, and just nip that off with the rail cutters, and just touch the back of the track up there, because the rail cutters leave a little bit of a burr, and just file on a little bit of an angle there, so you put a little bit of a lead there for the fish plate. Also give the front just to polish up. The rail cutters do a very nice job, but also make sure you cut them the right way. So if you want this to be the good edge, make sure you have your rail cutters so the flat edge is on that side. Don't do what I do every now and then and cut them the wrong way, and you've got to go back and file a whole lot of crap off. Just file the sides. Now you can see the other end is in place, that's all ready to go. So now we just have to sneak the other end in. Now you can see this end, I've cut both rails, I've snuck this fish plate here. Always spray a little bit of inox or WD-40 or whatever. Just spray a little bit. I actually have it on a cotton bud and spray it on there so the fish plates are tight, but they still slide nicely, so it's slid all the way up. And I've left my little piece of rail in here with the nice beveled edge on it in that insulated fish plate. So it keeps it open until I'm ready to slide the rail in, because when you take that out, the fish plate tends to close up a little bit, makes it very difficult to get in. Also found this, I've filed this bit of rail here on the edge, so let's see how we go. That other end's been on there for a while, so there we go. Lovely, tell your mother. So up there. And now we can just, where's my file? Now we can just slide this other fish plate up. There we go. Just do a top and line on that. It's got to be, not all the spikes are in this yet. There you go. Now I'll be using the old tortoise jig here to mark the holes for the machine, the switch machine. I've already put these screws in, but I'll just show you how this thing works. A lot of people don't bother using them, but for someone like me, with only one eye and has binocular vision, looking underneath here like this is really stressful, and you have to be pretty accurate, because I only drill a 1/4 inch hole. I like to have the hole as small as possible coming through from the benchwork. So you have to be more accurate with your throw, because your throw is going to be a shorter throw. Bigger the hole, you're going to have more throw, so you don't be as accurate, but I like to have have it as accurate as possible. And these things are great, they're like $6 or something, and I try and put a square line in from the wall out this way, or whichever way this runs square to the track. You've got to have your tortoise machine obviously at 90 degrees to the track, otherwise the throw is not going to be exactly right. So that just goes up in the hole like that, and obviously my track is 90 degrees to this wall, so this way it's quite easy. So I just had a square and I brought a square out, squared that up, marked the holes, put the 4 holes in, and you know it's done. And I've tried to do it without the jig, and trust me, it takes me about an hour, and it's just not worth it. For $6, it's definitely worth the money, trendsetters. Now, I say some people can get away with not using it, that's fine, but if you you have trouble working in spaces like this or whatever, I think these things are brilliant for, I think it was $6 or something, worth every penny. Well, it's day 2 trendsetters, and these turnouts are giving me a right royal headache, I tell you. Okay, the first machine went in no problem. The second one, I think, was just cursed, and I was out of my measurements by a couple of mil, and having the thick baseboard, as you drill through the thick baseboard, if you're a little bit out on an angle, it becomes worse. So it was just a nightmare. It took me probably 4 hours to get the second machine in. But anyway, that's the trouble when you have no depth perception as well. Excuse the average wiring. This is all temporary. All these machines will be hooked up to a switch 8 or a switch it when it becomes DCC or CTC control. But for the moment, we're just doing it the old toggle switch way. So we have our power right, red and black here. Now the 2 machines will be hooked up to these one terminal, because it's a crossover. Obviously you're switching both at once, but I don't know which way the machines are going to go. So either there might be another black in there from the other machine, or it might be a red, depending on just which way they go. It's purely pot luck. Here we have our track power coming in, our brown and blue, which goes to our switch, and our frog power coming out on this one. Same deal down here, brown and blue, our track power coming in, and our frog going out on the green here. Always make the frog wires a different colour to the others, as I said before. Alright, we'll wire the switch up and we'll see if they work. Right, we have our temporary toggle switch here. Excuse the crudeness. Of course, all this will have to be redone once we go to CTC. So it's all temporary at the moment. I should change my middle name. I don't have a middle name. Do you know my parents were that poor that I couldn't get a middle name? They couldn't afford it. So there you go. But I think I might get myself a middle name and call it temporary, because everything I do seems to be temporary. Right. So let's get the old work train and shove it through here and see what happens, trendsetters. Once again, the old work train's the first train through the new track work trendsetters. This old this consist has been the same for 2 years. These old girls. Like any married couple, they have their disagreements, but you know, they get on. Now this is actually the first train through here. So we'll see what happens. I have checked all the wiring, but we'll see what happens. Alright. It's a little bit sharp for my liking, but I think it's a number 4, or maybe somewhere between a number 4 and a number 6. So it's not too bad. It's just I'm used to the high speed turnout, so it looks a little sharp, but it's all right. It'll do for a infrequently used crossover that took a hell of a lot of time to put in. So I might use it a bit more just for the hell of it.
Trio of SD40-2s leave the main line and enter the Tarragindi cutoff, bound for the helix.
Well, trendsetters, there you go. Finally, that's 2 days, 2 full days and a little bit more to put this damn crossover in. It fought me from the start, trendsetters. But anyway, the main thing is when you're doing a double deck layout or multi-deck, make sure you have enough room here to work. So this is about 14 inches or so. You wouldn't want any less than that. And it was a bit of a struggle. But anyway, it's in now, so, and we had our first train go across, well, our first manifest train go across. And as I say, it won't be used a lot, but in some cases it will be very handy. So anyway, there you go. So if you want to see more detailed instructions on how to install the tortoise machine, there's a link below. You can have a look and go back to one of my very early videos. But it's on foam, as I much prefer this cork. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Hooroo!